Power, glory, destruction, redemption. The story of Germany is not just a history lesson, it's a mirror to humanity itself. A nation that touched the heavens and fell into the deepest shadows of history, but from its ruins, a new light was born. This is the story of a people who built, destroyed, and rebuilt again. This is the story of Germany. Long before the name Germany ever existed, this land was a wild mosaic of forests, rivers, and warring tribes. The Romans called it Germania, a mysterious and untamed territory east of the Rhine. Here, brave warriors like Arminius, a Germanic chieftain, united scattered tribes to defy the mighty Roman Empire. In the year 9 AD, deep in the Teutoburg forest, Arminius led his people to a shocking victory. 3 Roman legions were annihilated. It was the moment the Germanic spirit was born, fierce, independent, and unyielding. For centuries, the land remained fragmented kingdoms, duchies and principalities rising and falling like waves. Faith wars erupted, bloodlines ruled. But even through chaos, one idea slowly formed: unity. In 962, Otto the Great crowned himself emperor, and the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation was born. A grand experiment, a realm that sought divine order, yet was fractured by human ambition. Princes and bishops fought for power. Cities like Nuremberg, Cologne, and Hamburg flourished as centers of trade and art. But under its gilded surface, cracks spread. The Reformation struck like lightning. Martin Luther, a monk from Saxony, nailed his 95 Theses to the church door in Wittenberg in 1517, and the world would never be the same. Germany became the heart of a spiritual revolution that challenged the Pope, the Church, and centuries of faith tradition. But this awakening came at a cost. Religious wars devastated the land for 30 bloody years. When the smoke cleared, the once mighty empire was a ghost of its former self, divided, exhausted, and longing for peace. Centuries later, a man of steel and vision emerged: Otto von Bismarck. In 1870, won through diplomacy and war, he united the German states into one powerful empire under Prussian leadership. Berlin became the beating heart of a new Germany, industrial, ambitious, and determined to shape its destiny. Factories roared, railroads stretched across the land, and a new sense of pride filled the air. But with pride came arrogance. Germany was no longer content to stand among nations it sought to lead them. And soon, the world would tremble. The spark that ignited the Great War in 1914 soon engulfed Europe in flames. Germany marched with confidence, but 4 years later, its cities lay in ruin, its people starving, its empire shattered. The Treaty of Versailles humiliated the nation. They were forced to pay impossible reparations and carry the burden of guilt. The old order died, and in the ashes of defeat, resentment began to grow. Resentment that would one day take monstrous form. From the despair of the 1,920 seconds rose a voice that promised greatness again. Adolf Hitler, a man who turned pain into poison. He offered hope, but brought horror. Germany fell under his spell, driven by rage, fear, and false pride. The swastika rose where the cross once stood. The world watched in disbelief as a nation once known for philosophy and music became a machine of death and war. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland, and the world plunged into its darkest night. World War II consumed continents, cities burned, millions perished. The Holocaust, an unimaginable evil, became a scar on humanity that will never fade. By 1945, Berlin was a sea of rubble. Hitler was dead. The Empire of Terror had fallen. Germany was divided east and west, a wall of ideology splitting its soul in two. For decades, the Berlin Wall stood as the ultimate symbol of division. Families separated, dreams destroyed, lives confined behind concrete and barbed wire. But even in darkness, the spirit of freedom never died. In the east, whispers of rebellion grew louder. In the west, prosperity became a beacon of what could be. And then, in 1989, the impossible happened. The people rose not with weapons, but with courage. They climbed the wall, broke it apart, and embraced one another as one nation again. Tears fell, songs rose. History changed forever. The new Germany emerged from its wounds with humility and strength. It rebuilt not only its cities, but its soul. It faced its past, took responsibility, and became a voice for peace, progress, and unity in Europe. A reminder that even after the darkest night, dawn always comes. From Arminius to Angela Merkel, from empires to democracy, Germany's story is proof that history doesn't define us, our choices do. Every empire rises. Every empire falls. But only a few rise again, not with swords, but with understanding. Germany's story teaches us this. No matter how deep the wounds, redemption is always possible. And maybe that's why we're drawn to its history, because it reminds us of our own humanity. If this story moved you, like, comment, and subscribe to Hard Times for more historical journeys that reveal the rise, fall, and rebirth of nations. Your support helps us bring history to life. Our ability to destroy, to heal, and to begin again.